please join me in welcoming Saras Sarasvathy.
Okay, it's great to be here. Thank you for the invitation and the wonderful time that I've had. I heard a lot about Finnish hospitality, and I must say, you guys lived up to the reputation. So it's very nice to be here. I kind of knew what I wanted to do in research after having been an entrepreneur, and I really wanted to understand if you have been an entrepreneur for 15 years or longer. You have started multiple ventures, including successes and failures, and taken at least one company public, which means you have been through all the possible experiences as an entrepreneur. What is it that you have learned through your experience that I can learn and teach? This was my research question. Very practical. There were only 245 people in the world who fit that criterion. I wrote to all of them, and 45 people accepted to participate in the study. So we just came up with this name, and I'll explain to you why this name. One of the reasons is because it's the inverse of everything that we teach good corporate managers to do. Right? The finding basically says that you don't need to predict the future, even if you want to control it. So the point is to kind of create the future in some ways, but through things that are already within your control. What do you already have? What are the resources already available to you? And then ask yourself, with those resources, where can we go? What can the goals be, and what kind of opportunities can we create? So you don't have to have a brilliant idea for an opportunity to get started. So a lot of expert entrepreneurs say, figure out what your affordable loss levels are, and then ask yourself, would you do this even if you lost some of the money and the resources that you're putting into it? The very first thing you do is you start talking to people, and you're trying to bring people on board. Exactly what you're trying to do. Bring the team together. So you're trying to get them to commit something to your venture, to put skin in the game, as the Americans call it. Okay? We believe that the future comes from what people do. Where we decide to go together is where we will actually go eventually, right? Even though it may not be the original destination that each person thought individually, eventually that's where we'll head. And that's the overall kind of logic. So on the one hand, you have a method where risks are shared and risks are reduced, and each person is only investing what they can afford to lose. And you have a higher probability of coming up with something new, but then by the time you come up with something new, it's already paid for by all these people.
And ask that, could that also be new societies and new individuals? That maybe firms are not the most important things, that we can recreate individuals.
Give me a hug. Absolutely. You can cook causally, and you can cook effectually. Right? If you cook causally, you start with the dish that you want to cook, you have a recipe, you have ingredients. If you cook effectually, you just open the fridge, you look at what you have, and you kind of, right? So I use this example a lot. So one of the students thought, that's a good example. Let me ask Klaus Meyer about it. And this is Klaus Meyer's reaction. There are two kinds of failures. One is you start something and you fail. And another is you don't start something and you never fail, and that's another kind of failure, right? And if you create a world in which it's not that big a deal to fail and start again, I think that would be useful. And you have to think through how to do that in an intelligent way. And with that, and with the one word I know in Finnish, which is kiitos.
Okay, wow, that was fantastic.